You ready to rock and roll?
Am now. Go ahead.
All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Jen, would you take roll, please?
Commissioner Corbett.
Here.
Commissioner Waldner.
Here.
Commissioner Thill.
Here.
Commissioner Johnson. Mayor Lindsay.
Here. You have before you the agenda for this evening.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. No appearances or acknowledgments. Is there anything anyone wants removed from the consent calendar?
Make a motion, we approve the consent calendar.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Seeing no old business, under new business, authorize the mayor to sign a commercial real estate purchase agreement with Titan Property Management, LLC, Lot 2, Madison Second Industrial Park, Cars for Less property. Okay, oh, there's Kelly. Brad, did you want to address that? Or?
Certainly. I was asked to meet with Mr. Ostis, who's the proprietor there at Cars for Less, and see if there was some way we could work out an agreement for the purchase of his property there, which would be the Cars for Less building and lot. Through several, I guess, back and forths and everything negotiating, we came to a mutual agreement, and that's what sits before you right now.
And the purpose of this down the road and that would be to add additional parking space and that outside the fenced area and that to go along with the remodeling of the building and that putting the employees and customers and that further away from the building and that because there will be more people in that building and that when it's completed. So, other questions or comments?
What's that appraised at? And have we got an appraisal?
It sold for more privacy. I don't know that an appraisal was done on it.
Okay. Has there been any soil samples done on that with it being done in being used for the use of what it was before?
Not to my knowledge, no. George, I believe you had your hand up. If you wouldn't mind coming up to the microphone, for the benefit of the recording. And then for the benefit of those at home, if you would state your name and that.
George Lee.
Okay.
I guess the question was, I guess Bob had already brought it up, have you had it appraised by someone who does appraisals?
We have not had it appraised in that. We were going off from what it sold for before, and the price is right in the same neighborhood. So as far as a formal appraisal, we did not pay for a formal appraisal, no.
And what is the appraisal price?
Is it $3?
You mean the actual, what we're offering?
Yeah.
$300,000.
And where does that money come from?
General fund cash balance.
So you got that just lying in your cash balance?
We always have a cash balance on hand for the operation of the city. So yes, there is that much sitting in the unobligated cash balance.
And do you have any idea what the remodel's going to cost you?
On that, there is not an intention of remodeling that property. It's intended to be used as a parking lot.
So what are you going to do with the building?
The building for now would be just there, possibly used for storage. It finishes off the property that's there. It makes it meet the current safety standards of moving parking vehicles further away from a facility that could be terrorized. And currently, there is very little space there when you park a vehicle up against the building where the current employees are parking and you drive a semi in behind. This would move them away from the building and that so that there is no parking right up against the building. And this building and that is going to be brought into safety standards and that for possible future terrorism, no question. We're a small town. We're not exempt. All you have to do is read the news.
Well, I understand that.
So
that's what I mean. You're a small town, and it seems like, this is probably getting off the subject. You raise rates a lot from time to time, but yet you've got money setting aside to buy the East River building. You got money setting aside to buy this building, and you don't know what it's gonna cost you to remodel it.
We have set money aside, even since you were commissioner, for the future building and replacement of buildings. The money that was used to purchase this from East River was money that was put in a reserve annually for replacement of the current power plant. So those dollars were there, have been obligated for years, have been added to for years. So it's the same as anything else that the city has. You budget for the replacement of it down the road annually. It isn't something that you just all of a sudden come up with out of the blue sky and it's there. You mentioned rates. You're going to notice in that, if you look at the last 6 years, you've had the lowest increases, and that for many, many years in utilities.
But you tell me something, personally,
Yes.
would you go out and buy a house in this town and pay the price that the last owner paid for it without having it appraised?
In some cases, the answer to that would be yes.
I cannot believe that, Roy.
Okay.
I cannot believe you would do that.
And the thing that you've got to look at is, what did it sell for before? What did it sell previously? And here what we're looking at isn't what, setting Madison up for this year, next year. We're setting Madison up for 50 years from now. Because when we do this, that gives Madison a 9-acre public works and utilities facility, which currently they don't have. And if we went out into the industrial park and bought a building, is one for sale out there for $950,000. A shell, you get less than an acre. You have to finish off the inside. So when you compare the amount of money that we're spending for this with what is out there, we are getting by quite well and well under what the future budget would normally have been.
My personal thought is if you put it on the open market, it wouldn't sell for that kind of money.
It was on the open market before, and it did sell for that.
Yes, it did. But
Yes.
This is different today.
Is it?
Than when that happened.
Okay? Okay?
You know,
This,
but I
this
think-
this is an agreement that we have reached based on the information's out there. Formal appraisal? No.
But I
We
think
did not
you need
pay
to
for a
do
formal appraisal.
core samples from before, when it was belonged to the hog buying thing, and I'm not sure what else was in there before. I think somebody had some transformers in there before. Way
And there
back.
was transformers behind it, and there will be
Yeah.
transformers there again, along with the other electrical equipment that we have. That's what we're purchasing it to use for.
You know, I just.
I
think you're way ahead of
understand.
yourself.
I understand in that, where you are, where you're coming from. Okay. The difference is we're looking at the city of Madison, and we're planning for 50 years from now, not next week. Okay. So, that's where what we're looking at is the city of Madison is growing. The city of Madison needs are still operating and growing. The other thing is we've been in 1919 buildings, we've been in 1935 water towers. It's time to step forward and do some of the things and that have been planned for years. And that's what we're doing. Okay. Marcia, would you come to the microphone for the benefit of those at home, please?
Marshall there. Just a couple other questions. I read the lease or the
Purchase agreement?
purchase agreement.
Mhm.
It says in there you're going to lease it back to the owner right now for $1 a year.
For the placement of up to 5 vehicles, isn't it? And the reason for that is he has to have a physical location to maintain his license until he decides if he's going to let his license go or keep it. And so we did not see that as an obstacle, and neither did our attorney. And so as part of the agreement, it is possible that on the south edge he could park up to 5 vehicles for 5 years to maintain his vehicle license.
Will he still be using the building?
No. No. Just for the placement of 5 parking spots for 5 years.
I know last Tuesday we talked about it. You said when we bought the East River building, we got the building plus 5 acres. Isn't there room to park cars on that 5 acres?
If we parked back with inside the fence, but then that's where we have the operation of all the equipment and the semis. This is going to be for customer parking that come and go. It's going to be for employee parking to move vehicles further away from the building.
I guess the last question, we went through it, 850 for the East River, 325 for the renovations that you guys talked about last Tuesday on that
Correct.
building, and 300,000 for this.
Correct.
You said it's all coming out of reserves?
No, well, no.
Several pots of money. You want to get into that, Ivers?
Yeah.
Correct, several pots of money. The East River building is going to be funded, that is going to be strictly funded by utility funds. $350,000 has been slated in 2019 for renovation of that building. It was $350,000, along with another $72,000 worth of furniture and equipment. Those $2 amounts have been split as per anything you can find posted on the website for the 2019 budget between water, electric, and sewer. This building, if this group so chooses, I will respectfully ask that your motion tonight, if you get that far, is that the funds for this $300,000 purchase are to come from the general fund cash balance. Because of course this has just recently come up, this has not been budgeted for, but you're truly talking about different pots of money. Your utilities are your utilities, your general fund is your general fund.
And all are legitimate to take money from for a project like this, correct? It is not, we're not doing anything inappropriate or sleight of hand or anything hidden or anything. It is
Absolutely.
appropriate to take money from several sources we have available. And I'm not, this is nothing you said, Marshall, I just want to be clear about that.
No, that's fine. So between the three things, we have 1.4 million or 1.5 million. How much of that is going to come out of reserves, and how much is it going to stay on the books where we're going to have to raise our rates to pay for it? Is, I guess, what I'm wanting to know.
Okay.
Can you answer that?
Reserve-wise, I would have to go back to the utility. I don't have that stuff in front of me. We can certainly talk about it at a later time. I don't believe we threw a whole lot of reserve money at the utility building, correct?
We did the 350 out of electric, 150 out of water, and the rest will be coming out of this year's cash balance.
Okay.
On the purchase,
850?
yes.
On the 850?
Yes, on the purchase.
Okay, thank you.
So you said.
Point of order for a second.
Yep.
I don't think we're not discussing the East River building, and I don't know if we can.
It's all part of it, Mike. You guys are making it all part. You want to add to it to make one big campus. So
Well, I understand that part. I'm just wondering if
We're
we
not
can-
taking action on anything. This is
Okay.
my opinion, please.
Okay.
The city attorney, of course, isn't here, but
Right,
you can
that's why
discuss
I'm
anything
asking.
you want to, but you can't take any action. We couldn't take any action about doing anything different monetarily or anything to do with the East River building tonight. The only
I just
action
wanted to
you
make
can
sure we
take-
weren't getting in trouble about deviating from what's on the agenda.
I guess what I'm trying to get for an answer is, we did these three things for one, it's all one project. I'm going to say. I'm just saying, how much of it is reserved and how much is going to stay on the books that we have to finish paying for it, like a loan or something like that? That's where I'm trying to get to.
No loans.
No
There
loans.
will be no
Available
loans in
cash.
this.
No reserves at this time either, Marshall, for this $300,000 agreement that they have in front of them. That
No
would all
reserve.
be, like I said, cash balance. That is my request as per some discussion. This would have to come from cash balance. FYI, the general fund cash balance at the end of September was $5.7 million. And that is all cash. That is your designated reserves. That's what everybody auditor-wise would consider general fund cash.
Other questions?
It's cyclical. I mean, this dollar amount will change based on projects. You know, this dollar amount, this 5.7 that I just referenced, is down a little bit compared to last month because of some larger payments we made. You know, we did an analysis of this today. We made some larger contractor payments during the month. West Center Street, there was a large Prunty bill. There was a large Flint Hills for some seal coating that was done. So again, it's cyclical. It depends on when your property tax is coming in. You know, twice a year, this cash balance is maybe a little bit higher because we receive a lump sum of our property taxes from the county twice a year, depending on where your sales tax is at.
And then that also includes bills that have to be paid for the rest of the year as well.
Certainly, payroll, everything else that falls into your cash balances.
So there's still a fourth of the year left to come out of there. So, other questions or comments? Commissioners?
So is this the last property we're going to buy for this project?
For this project, and that, as far as I know, it is, because that will square off that property and fill in that corner that was taken out of it, you know, sometime whenever in history. And it also, you know, if you go down there and you look at the driveway going in, you move the vehicles over here, you know, you've got a much safer facility in that to have people in. So,
Thank you.
Thanks, Marshall.
other questions or comments?
Here.
Commissioners?
I just like how it gives us a whole lot of options, whether we use it for a parking lot or whatever else, and it squares off the whole property in that area. And quite honestly, it gives not only us as commissioners today, but 20, 30, 50 years from now, who knows what we might do with that property, or future commissions might do with that property. But today might be the only time we have a chance to acquire it. And our cash balances, our departments have done a nice job. We've been frugal over the past years, so we do have that cash. With that, I'll make a motion. We authorize the mayor to sign commercial real estate purchase agreement, Titan Property Management, LLC, Lot 2, Madison 2nd Industrial Park, Cars for Less property.
Second?
With
In,
funds.
in the amount of $300,000 with coming from general fund cash balance.
Thank you.
Are we gonna have an appraisal on this?
Excuse me, you have a motion on the floor, do we have a second?
Second?
With this motion, the answer would be no.
I'm sorry, Bob, would you repeat your question? I was getting parliamentary procedure here.
Go ahead,
What
Bob.
did you ask?
I would like to have a appraisal done on it, just to see what that property's actually worth.
I have some hesitancies on this, and I wish I didn't. I really wish I didn't.
I'm not saying it's not a good deal, but I just think that $300,000 for a little piece of property that's not appraised right now is quite a bit. Go ahead, Commissioner Johnson.
I just want, who approached who? Did we approach them, or did they
Yes.
approach us to buy this property?
We approached them.
Well, I can see why the price is, he's gonna ask that price.
And I'm not even sure that the price bothers me. I'm really not, because I don't know if there's any appraisal. I just have some difficulty. We had a project in the past that I voted against, and it ended up costing us more than I thought it was going to. And I have some of the same sensations about this and same thinking about it. I'm just not sure. If we had a definition for sure of what we wanted to do with that property, I'd feel pretty good about just saying, yeah, I'm okay with that. I know this building we've talked several times about is in several respects woefully inadequate for us. The PD is needing more space, clearly. I think Jen is just happy as a clam where she's at. I'm not sure about the engineer's office, whether it would be better somewhere else or not. But all things considered, if this building were assessed and we'd say, you know, it's going to cost us a fortune to get this building to the level of ADA accessibility that we want, so maybe we better look at this property real seriously. I'd be really inclined to say, yeah, I think we should. But I just don't see it, guys. I just don't see that immediacy. And There's been a lot of bricks laid on this to make it happen, and I hope if I vote against this, that I'm wrong. I'm not afraid to be wrong, but I just am not sure who we are, and probably somebody said something about particular or not. We haven't done our homework enough on this or something a minute ago. I'm not sure that's true either, but I'm not convinced at this time that this is where we should be going.
George, were you on the commission when we decided not to buy the land that the restricted use site's on? Well, that was a missed opportunity, and I think if we let this land pass, it'll be another missed opportunity.
I think, you know, I have to agree with Commissioner Corbin that you have to look at this not short-sighted, and you need to think about the future. If you don't have this property, you don't have the options. With it, we do have options. And again, for future commissions, maybe we move City Hall on that property and put Jen down there. We make room here for the police department. Maybe we put the police department there. We don't have any of those options today if you don't have. The biggest thing is this gives us options. It gives not only us, but future commissions in the future to do things with it. I've said plenty.
I guess I'd like to add one more comment. Could we wait till after this election on the bond issue and see if the public safety building goes down or if it's gonna be a county deal? If it goes down, maybe us 5 commissioners and the county commissioners can sit down and go back and work for the taxpayers again and try to work something out.
Brad?
Just 2 things I wanted to correct for the record. The first one is that the current public workshop is on 4 acres. The East River property is 5 acres. This would be another additional acre for a total of 10. I wanted to correct that. Not a big deal, but just make sure everybody knew it was 10 acres total. The other thing is that when we purchased the East River building, we looked at the cost of renovation there and looked at the thought of possibly purchasing the Cars for Less building. We approached him at that time. So that's when we originally approached him. This was clear back about a year ago, or even more so, a little more than a year ago. And at that time, he was not interested in selling. So a year goes by, we had some preliminary discussions and stopped. Then he put it up for sale and marketed it, advertised it on the commercial website for commercial properties. And it came to us, our attention, that that was the case. Then we reapproached him and see if he'd be interested and work the deal out. And that's when we came back to him and worked the deal out the second time. But initially, he said no to what we were looking at, and then he came back and put it on the market. And that's when we came back to talk to him. So it wasn't that we approached him per se. In this particular case, he had already put it on the market, and that's where we came back to him. So I just wanted to correct everybody's understanding of this so they know exactly what happened when.
And when you put it on the market, it was for a price higher than what
Yes.
it is.
It was either 320 or 325.
I was thinking it's 325. Sir, if you'd come to the microphone, please, and then and it isn't for us. It's for the people at home that listen.
Pretty loud.
Understood. But when you're further away from the microphone.
Where did the number 300,000 come from?
Where did the number 300,000 come from?
Who made the decision to offer that?
We negotiated it down from the asking price and that that he had listed at.
You didn't think about going lower than that?
Oh yes, we
Yeah.
did. Oh yes, we did. We started much lower than that, and it just
was
did.
that offer refused?
That offer was refused. The offer was refused.
That's a good question.
Huh?
Thank you.
And sir, just for the record at home, in that you didn't state your name.
Oh, Wayne Walliga?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. We do have a lot of people in that watch this on their computer rather than attend the meetings.
I see.
And so, then we'll get the phone call of who was that spoke, and so it's nice to have that. And we have cameras from both directions so people can see and hear. So. Marshall.
I do have one more question.
For the benefit of those at home.
Maybe you guys can help me, and maybe it might be for a different time. But I heard both commissioners say, well, maybe we might want to build a police department out there, which I'm not against that. I understand this is a small area, we need to upgrade it. But I went to the first public safety meeting way back, I don't even remember who went with Bob. Do you remember when that was, Bob?
No.
But both our chief of police was there and the sheriff, and they were both working together and was both going to head out to that public safety. What happened? Why aren't we moving out there?
You know, and I was not on that committee, so I can't answer that question for you, but the committee and that, the committee that was for the city looked at this, you know, the city side of things and what the needs were for the city police, and the county looked at the county, and for whatever reason, and that they could not reach an agreement. And so it's my understanding that the county wanted to go ahead anyway, and so that's where they're at. This is totally off topic, but is that something that the county needs? And the answer is yes, in my opinion. So, again, like Mr. Thill said earlier, you know, if something falls through and that in the fall and it doesn't, you know, go through, would I like to see them come back to the table? And the answer is yes. But do I think that this is something, you know, that Lake County needs? And the size is appropriate to bring dollars in to relieve some of the, you know, payments made by the local taxpayers. But again, that's a county decision at this point in time.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Other discussion?
What would happen if we tabled this for a while?
We could table it till next week.
Why do you want to table it?
I'm not sure I want to, maybe that's a good question on the Jeremiah. I just
Thank you.
wanted there to be a benefit to us. But perhaps
There's-
people, maybe
Mr. Mayor?
The benefit would, you would have to figure out what the benefit would be, you know, and at this point in time, I'm not sure what that would be.
Okay.
Okay. Brad, did you have something to add?
Because this process is strung out a little farther than what we'd like to have had, Mr. Ostis would pretty much probably renege on this agreement and go back to the open market if we delay it much longer. We've already delayed it almost 3 weeks from the time we originally thought we'd get it to the commission. So one of those things that just hasn't moved through the city as fast as we'd like, and he's not buying cars right now in anticipation that we would follow through in this contract. So his livelihood is being impacted by our decisions. So.
Okay.
Tim, did you have something you wanted to say?
I say, sometimes like you got more power than you for up there. Somebody's boss, I don't follow that.
No, I don't think that's true at all. That's not, that's not great.
I'm just providing information
You're
of,
just providing information to us about having done some of the research for us.
Okay, Jim,
No.
if you would like to speak and that, please come to the microphones for the benefit of people at home and state your name. Nope. No, I do want people to be able to talk.
Mr. Casanova, but why are you against praising it? Maybe you'd praise that 200,000.
I didn't say I'm against having it appraised. The question was asked is, did we? And no,
No, the answer is, well, why don't you do it before you buy it?
we have not done an appraisal on it. We've gone by what the market has been, and if the realtors say that it's worth $325, in my mind, in that it should be worth $300.
So why is the city getting so much into the real estate business? Why don't you let?
We're not getting in the real estate business. We are getting into the utility business and bringing our utilities out of the 1919 facilities that we either have to continue to spend money on, which doesn't make sense. We have material and that sitting outside that we have to watch closely because it does disappear. And so that we're not looking for short-sightedness. We're looking at the future of Madison, and this is the smartest move for the dollar for the citizens of Madison today and 40, 50 years from now.
Yeah, I don't know, there's a lot of people besides me don't agree that way. If you know what's gonna happen, the electrical rate will go up to pay for it.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't- That will not.
No,
make it.
we've
This will not
already
make it out.
penciled that out. We've already penciled that out.
We have made, this commission has made a significant effort in getting us away from running the city simply on the utilities. We've done a lot of things. That's how we've been able to, and keep our rates down. So, Jim, I have to agree completely on that.
And this commission has also gotten away from being reactive, meaning wait until something breaks and then pay them a lot more than you need to. This commission has been very forward at trying to move Madison forward and do it in the most financial feasible and smartest way we can. We've gotten a lot of things done in the city of Madison that were put off for so many years that it would have cost us less if we'd have been doing things along the way instead of doing nothing for a number of years and then having to pick up the slack.
I agree, but that 300,000 could do a good use in the streets, a lot more than the empty buildings.
I'm not going to disagree with you, but this is, at this point in time, this facility will serve the citizens of Madison a lot longer than those of us that are in the room will be here.
That's kind of depressing.
Yeah.
It may be depressing, but it is the truth.
It's the truth.
It is the truth.
Call the question.
Okay, we have the motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. And
Aye.
Jen, for this, I'm going to ask you to do a roll call vote, please.
Great idea. Commissioner Thel,
Nay.
Commissioner Waldner,
Aye.
Commissioner Johnson,
Nay.
Commissioner Corbin,
Aye.
and Mayor Lindsay.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Number 2, authorize the mayor to sign the renewal application with the South Dakota Department of Environment and Natural Resources Yard Waste Compost Facility. Chad or Brad, either one of you want to address that one? Gary? All right. We'll let Gary go for this one.
A little easier topic. Pretty straightforward. Every 5 years, we have to renew this. It's a $250 permit with the state. We didn't change anything out there. It's take yard waste, pallets, and trees. And nothing else, please. All around the subject.
That's a good point.
I guess that's all I got.
Okay?
What about pallets?
Pallets.
Yep.
Pallets, trees, and yard waste.
Okay, you said pallets, sorry.
And I did read through that before, it went out there, for you guys to fill out, so. Nothing different, just the annual, not annual, 5 years renewal agreement with the state.
I think it's actually due in April, but this is the
Yeah, it came a couple weeks ago, so.
I think Gary makes a good point that this is a great convenience for the citizens of Madison. I can remember when we were hauling stuff out, the site by Junius and truckloads, and we didn't have this. We've had a number of occasions when somebody's decided they didn't need that couch anymore, so it ends up out there, out at the waste. And I just urge everyone to please be respectful of that. It's for those things that we've enunciated here. Pallets, trees, and yard waste. It's
Nope.
not for something you
pallets.
don't want. And we certainly don't want any wood out there that has paint on it or anything like that. That's why we limit it to pallets, because those things can't be burned up or taken care of the way we dispose of them. So it is a good time to say that and to enunciate that on behalf of the city. It's a free service in the sense that we don't charge a fee like we do at the restricted use site. And a lot goes into keeping that place intact for the citizens. So I would just ask, if you got something to throw away, that's not the place to do it, okay?
That's a good point you make, because you could end up closing that thing.
That's right.
And then we got nowhere to go with it, or it could put somebody, you have to pay somebody to be out there.
And as much as, and thank you, George, for making another good point. There have been places that people, it's for the citizens of Madison, okay? And there have been a couple of places that people were coming from. They're not citizens of those communities, and were dumping in that site, and they eventually had to close those sites, if I remember. I don't know if they reopened them or not, but they had to close them because there were so many people dumping in them that weren't citizens of those communities, and it was basically an unfortunate abuse of the use of the sites. So please, keep that in mind. It is truly a great service, and one we want to be able to keep providing. Thank you.
Marshall?
I had a question for Kelly. Being you said that, does that pertain to Lake County? I mean,
No.
people like around Lake Madison, are they part of?
Really not. Technically, no.
So people that are bringing in from the lake should not be dropping off there.
That's true.
So my next question is,
If I remember correctly,
if I'm
yes.
out there and I see that, or I see someone dropping off other than pallets, who do you contact? Do you contact the city or?
Anytime you see an infraction like that, contact the police department.
Okay,
They'll
thank
pass
you
it on
very
to
much,
appropriate.
because I did see
Yeah.
that the last time I was out there. They were.
And I hate to have it be that way. I wish, but it's just one of those things that we have to draw the line somewhere in order to be able to maintain it.
No, I
So-
pulled it,
And-
I like using it because I can get rid of my grass clippings, and I don't want someone abusing it so I can't use it. So that's why I asked, who do I contact?
And the reasons too for paints is we never know what are in the
Yep.
paints.
Yep.
Some of them are petroleum based, some of them are not. And so, it's best in that to limit it to just pallets.
Okay, thank you.
Got all that right? Okay.
If you would, take your plastic bags, take it out of the plastic bags.
Yeah.
It can't be in the pile either.
It can be in those yard bags that are,
Yeah,
the yard bags are paper.
Paper bags are okay, they're
Mhm.
composed with plastic.
That's always just one more thing that guys end up having to do, If there's 10 bags and they have to break them open, that's, that much more they have to do. So it's a great service, which I think we'd all like to have, but you got to take care of it, just like everything else.
Other questions, comments? If not, do we have a motion?
I'll
No,
make a
go ahead,
motion,
Mike.
we authorize mayor to sign renewal application, South Dakota Department of Environmental and Natural Resources Yard Waste Compost Facility.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 3, authorize the mayor to sign the application for abatement and a refund of property taxes 2018-11. Jen, would you want to address that?
I will. Abatement number 2018-11. Please note that this is a newly acquired city-owned property. It actually is the property off of Lincoln and 2nd Street North, as depicted on your map here. It's where the fire department's can pit used to be, back there behind Subway. Newly acquired city land that we did last year abate a special assessment off of, but neglected to remove the special maintenance fee. So we have to go through the process one more time to abate the special assessment fee that got tacked to it this year. I'm working with Chad's office to make sure that doesn't happen again. Okay? So it's just the $125, please.
Questions or comments?
This is the property I bought at auction,
Yes, it is.
$50.
Big time.
Yes. And the reason
You bought it
you bought it at auction is because the person that had the property refused to pay for the sidewalk.
Correct.
Well, with that, I'll make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign application for abatement and/or refund of property taxes, number 2018-11.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 4, authorize the mayor to sign the application for abatement and or refund of property taxes 2018-12. And again, I'm going to ask Jen if she'll address this one.
Abatement number 2018-12, same scenario. We need to remove the special maintenance fee that was billed to us this year. This property is actually the Sample Our Flowers property. And we'll get these cleaned up and not see them again.
Make a motion, we authorize the mayor to sign application for abatement and/or refund of property taxes 2018-12.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 5, Resolution -2018-25, approve a plat, Lot 2, Block 1, Kern Edition. I'm going to ask Chad. Chad, would you want to address this one?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. The plat included in the agenda packet is a plat at the intersection of 8th Street and Union Avenue, 8th Street Southwest, excuse me. And this plat is in accordance with the master plan prepared by the developer in that location for this particular parcel. Platting is required if they want to commence to receive a building permit or apply for a building permit, I should say. I have no indication of what is going on there, if they're looking to try to do something anytime soon. But this is the step in the process if that owner wants to proceed with development. The planning commission reviewed the plat and approved it on October 9th, and I would also recommend approval.
Questions or comments?
Make a motion to approve resolution number 2018-25, approve a plat, lot 2, block 1 of current edition.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Resolution number 2018-26, to adopt the Lake County Pre-Disaster Mitigation Plan 2018-23. And again, Chad, would you want to address this one?
I can do that. This is
Okay,
me,
Jen?
actually, okay?
All right.
I will actually just review using the facts in the resolution, then I'll open it up for Mr. Gagno's here, Brad, Chad, whoever else would like to comment. But as contained in Resolution 18-26, the Lake County Pre-Disaster Mitigation Plan, this plan is reviewed, revised, and readopted every 5 years. Again, referencing you to the resolution, several public planning meetings were held. From there, they developed a 221-page document that has been posted out on the website. It is available in the finance office for your review. In a manual here, it's for your viewing pleasure. Part of this 221-page document talks about potential future projects, which are planned to mitigate hazard damage. From there, this plan goes to FEMA, where it was approved by FEMA. There's a public hearing. The Lake County Pre-Disaster Mitigation Team solicited public comment back in June of 2018 to continue this process, and tonight we are here to formally approve and adopt the plan, and each local government within Lake County has to do the same. This is spearheaded by our friends at First District. Special thanks to Lucas Muller and Greg Mogg, who were bus drivers on this, and all of the local entities that participated.
And I attended,
Gentlemen, anything else?
I attended a number of those meetings and so there were a lot of people from Lake County involved in this.
Good for 5 years. We'll do it all over again.
Other questions, comments? Okay, if not, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve resolution number 2018-26 to adopt the Lake County Pre-Disaster Mitigation Plan 2018 through 2023.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Do we have any public comment listed out there on that's not part of the agenda? Okay. Under announcements, 2018 Loss Control Safety Achievement Award, and I'm going to ask Jen to address this one, please.
Yes, just a quick explanation, please. The Loss Control Safety Achievement Award is applied for by the City of Madison. Fire Chief Randy Minert does this for us on an annual basis. We apply for it, and then we are awarded, if you would, every year. This is presented annually by the South Dakota Public Assurance Alliance and the SDML Work Comp Board. This year, once again, we received a gold level award. These awards, please note the state of South Dakota awards here is our history of these awards. So once again, this year we received the gold level, and just a very quick explanation, there are different tiered levels. There is bronze, is the bottom, silver, gold, of which we were awarded, and then a platinum level. And to get that platinum level, which we have not done, unfortunately, for the last couple of years, you must achieve the gold level, and then also have a combined 3-year loss ratio of less than 60% on all of your pool memberships. due to some claims, some more comp claims, we haven't met that criteria. But are very proud, and kudos to all of the staff and the employees for their hard work and maintaining this gold level award for another year.
Very good.
You may have seen too in the paper, I think earlier this week, the county also achieved a gold level this year.
Good.
So, yes. Good work to all. Thank you.
For the public, SDML, South Dakota Municipal League.
Good.
So
Yeah.
Jen likes acronyms.
I do.
Seeing no executive session, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion?
Can I ask just one more thing?
Yes. I'm going to let him.
Not about, I don't know if this is true, but I just heard, when they do the 4-lane going out of town,
Yes,
in the next year, is it? Or-
2019.
I heard that they're not gonna change that corner much, the way he's got that little island in there, that curve. Couldn't they do something more safely than that?
I'll visit with you a little bit right after the meeting on that.
Roundabout?
Here, but
Yes.
Yes.
All
No.
right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signal.
I think it's Corbin and
Call for the motion here, guys.
Okay,
Okay?
Go ahead, Mayor.
did you get it?
I got it now.
Okay. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
What's that?